Barrick DIY here with a great extra special review. I wanted to share my experience with the Qualisports Dolphin E-Bike. I didn't ride a bike for almost 20-something years before that. There are many reasons why I got this bike, and it didn't come with everything that's on it right now because I accessorized it as I went. But it is an e-bike for my advanced age. I'm in my 40s. I wanted something with a motor because I'm also a private pilot, and I wanted something that folded so I could put it in the plane and take rides once I arrive at a destination. So this is what I got, the Qualisports Dolphin. It's got nice 20-inch wheels on each side. They're a little bit wider, so they do take to the terrain a little bit better. It's more of a road bike than a mountain bike, but it does a nice job. Everything here is foldable. Even with all this stuff, I leave this stuff on the bike and I can still fold it up into a small little package. High quality materials. I only had one problem with the bike for quality, and that is this pedal. But I'm glad to report that when I contacted them, they immediately sent me an extra pair. I just haven't put it on there yet. So they are just plastic beginner type pedals, but they do work, and they're also foldable. So you can push them in and fold it right up to store it as an even smaller package. So even though that piece broke, I could still use it the way it is. And then to put them down, you just fold them down and they lock into place. The derailleur and the chain have been great so far. It came excellently with the oil and everything, so I haven't had to oil it yet, and I've owned this for a little over a month now. It does come with its own light, which runs off the battery. And the great thing about the battery is it is your seat post. It could be a good thing. It could be a pro and a con. This battery right here, it does come out and you charge it. I have to move this thing right here. You charge it right here. They give you the AC adapter with the bike and you charge it. I charge mine with my solar unit. Yes, it does take a while, but then that means that the energy is free. The original seat, I didn't like it so much because I didn't think it offered enough padding. It is padded, I will give it that, but I went with something a little thicker. So I'm going to review all these little accessories in separate videos. But I picked a really easy suspending seat right here with a little bit of cushioning right there, and it fit on great. So you can replace the seat. The seat they give you, yeah, it's high quality. It's a good name brand seat, but it's just your basic seat with some padding. When I got the bike in the box, it came mostly assembled, but the fenders did need to be put on, and they did not include the directions with it in the box. But that didn't make a big deal because I contacted them over email. Again, the support's been great on this. They immediately email me PDFs of the directions, but still they didn't give you directions on how to really put on the fender. So I went on YouTube, and there's a couple videos that cover this bike, and I kind of saw how they attach theirs. But it's basically just screwing everything in here. This rack, by the way, this rear rack that I have my bag on, that is extra. However, Qualisports worked with me and they gave me the rear rack and the front rack, which I don't have attached, but I have it for the future. They gave me that for free because I haggled with them, chatting with them online on their website before I bought it directly from them. Putting on this fender wasn't that bad because you had the access holes here and then the rack goes on top. But this one wasn't hard to put on at all. This one was a little bit of a task, and let me show you why. Because it has an attachment point here and here, but you got to put this screw all the way through to the other side, and you have to have enough leverage to get these metal things underneath. So there's only one problem. You could take the whole wheel off, or you could do what I did. I deflated the tire by pushing down the pin in here, and I deflated it enough so I could stick this underneath, line it up, and tighten it down right here. And then I just blew up the tire back to regulation anyways because I was going to check that anyways. As far as how the bike folds up, I'm going to show you step by step how we fold it up. And again, it's going to be great for when I fly a Cessna 152 or 172 to put this in the back. It's going to take up some space. It weighs about 70 pounds probably with all these accessories I added to it. I think it's like 60 without everything. But it should do well getting into the plane. So the first thing you want to do if you're going to fold this up is you're going to just push the pedal in and you're going to fold it up, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side. But to take down the main reeling thing, we're just going to push this thing down here and we're going to fold it down. I wouldn't have my phone in there if I'm doing this for real. You could also put the seat down if you want to. I'm a pretty short guy, so it doesn't stick out that far, so I usually leave it. Then finally, when it come on the side here, you're going to flip this up, And you're gonna pull this out. All right, and with that detached, we could just lift up here and fold it in half. The pedal, you might have to push down just a little bit to get out of the way. And it will rest all together like that. Mind you, I didn't take anything off that bike right there. And with adjusting the handle to be totally tucked in, right in the middle, it goes up to this size, folding. So that will definitely fit in a plane. You might have to maneuver it through the door a little bit, but that is why I wanted a folding bike. Finally, if you're in the city or something, and you just want to walk it like this. You have to go forward with it. It is easily maneuverable. The other thing is it does come with a rear light. I've never used it. I'm actually waiting for my smart brake light to come in, but it attaches to the seat right underneath. It's just 2 screws, as you can see right here. It's kind of loose right now, so I'm just tucking this away in case I ever do need it, but I wanted space for a bag. To reassemble it, it's pretty easy. We're just gonna fold it out, and then on this side, you're gonna reattach the middle. You're gonna push this in and box it. This is so that it doesn't come detached when you're riding it. Next thing you want to do is pull up the handlebars, like that, straighten them out. You're gonna lock it down with this switch right here. And then the last step is just the pedals. Just turn them so they lock in place on both sides. And then you're ready to ride. Just like that. As far as the battery being stored in the seat, again, charging right here. They have a nice little weather seal flap here. They do give you the AC adapter to charge it. It takes about, I would say, 5 hours on my solar battery to charge it with solar power. But you can detach the seat from here. On the bottom is where the electrical connector comes out, and it just screws right in over here on the bottom. So you could take this off and not have it powered, but it's up to you. But you still need the post to ride the bike. So that could be, again, a pro or a con. I like the design because it's all in one. I don't have to worry about a battery being here, and there's a lot more space to put other things. It also allows you, they give you the 2 screws, but you can put a bottle holder right here if you want. My power bank also fits in here, so when I want to charge my phone. And then finally you have the main controller, which works great. You just hold it down and it powers on. Pedal assist all the way up to 5. And the max speed on this bike is 20 miles per hour. So after 20 miles per hour, the motor will not turn on. That is the max speed for that. Usually I use it just on pedal assist, and when I ride with Zach, I don't even use it at all. So you can ride it like a regular bike with no problems. It also has 7 gears, which are easily used with the Shimano changer here. This is so you go up a gear, and that's so you go back a gear. Again, 7 gears around the hub motor. It's a 350 watt hub motor, so it's, you know, it gets up hills. It's not going to go like full speed or anything. It's not a mountain bike. 36 volt 350 watt hub motor. It's done great, and everything has been really good. I mean, I know it's not the most powerful bike, but again, I was looking for more portability, folding up, and being able to ride on roads wherever I fly. So I have rode on a little bit of grass and stuff, but it's held up fine. Again, the wheels are a little wider than other models, so that way it cushions between you and the road a little bit more for bumps. It holds everything that I need on it, so it's done great so far. The Qualisports Dolphin has been an excellent buy so far. So we're riding the Qualisports Dolphin, and I've been testing this for a couple months now. It does a pretty good job. So I got all my electronics on here, holds everything, and it folds up at the same time. And it allows you to take bike rides with the family. So it's all good. So Zach, how's it been biking with your father?
Good.
This man is the first person I know as a kid that instantly got the training wheels off and basically was able to ride like that. It was amazing. Here's a slight incline, and this is the best way of using the throttle. If you don't like hills or you're tired, I'm going to use the throttle all the way up the hill by pushing my thumb down here. So here we go. And we're about 10 miles per hour. 11. 12. 13 miles per hour. And I'm gonna follow Zach on that side road. But you can see I took that hill, no problem, didn't even have to pedal. Now the other thing is you could always turn it off and go to 0 on the pedal assist. So that way you can turn it on when you need it. Like I'm going up a hill slightly here. So now I'll turn it to 1 by pushing the up arrow. And it'll go up the hill. Sorry, it's a little hard to film with one hand, but so that definitely helps me going uphill on any hills I don't want to, or if I'm going long distance. Pedal assist one's usually as far as I go, unless it's a really steep hill. I usually only go up to about 3. So yeah, it does a really nice job. Turned it off now, so I'm just gonna pedal. It does a fantastic job. The other thing is too, this doesn't have a lot of friction when you do pedal. So it maximizes hills and stuff. Like I'm gonna blow by Zach right now. Not fair because I'm an adult. But you can see that I haven't pedaled at all going down this hill, and yet it keeps the speed going on with the least amount of friction. So I'm really a fan of that. It means you're gonna work less hard for long distances, which is exactly what I bought this bike for when I actually take trips with the planes I rent, and I can pull it out and go destinations. We are biking to Edgartown. I'm gonna go downtown Edgartown first. Have some fun there. Holy marina. So there you go. There's a shot of water here. Hard to believe we're in the air about half. I got right here to the airport. I might want a picture from the side actually. Let me check out the side here. So here we are at the airport. We're gonna fly back to Plymouth. Have a good time. General Aviation's this way. Sweet. I'm just using the motor all the way back here, so. Yeah. A little windy. But we should be good. Use like 1/4 of a battery that whole trip, so can't go wrong with that. All right, so we had a good time, Martha's Vineyard. We're about to get ready to take off here. I got the bike in. It was a little easier this time. It only took me like 10 minutes, but it was definitely worth it. And a final little conclusion to our review of the Qualisports Dolphin E-Bike. It's been about 7 months now since I've had the bike. We have pros and cons. I just wanted to make sure I rode it enough to really give you a thorough review. What I want to do right now is I want to show you some of the updates or upgrades I've made over time. So as I said earlier in the review, the original folding plastic pedals, they didn't cut it for me. I still have the extra set that they sent me, and I'm glad that they did. But between getting it through the doors of the 152, 172 when I'm taking it while flying, and also just them being cheap plastic that basically broke with some weight, I actually upgraded to some Lixada steel ones, and they're okay. They're not the best either. Basically these though, they detach right off the bike. So I mostly got them though to fit through the door of the plane, and I just put these in the back of the bag here. But they work, and they're pretty good. They're okay. The first pair I had a big problem with, they got stuck on the bike, believe it or not, through these things. So the second time when I got my replacement from Amazon, I put some lithium grease on there, and they've been working fine ever since, and they just pop right back in. I do recommend upgrading the pedals no matter what, because those plastic ones probably are not going to last you if you ride it as much as I do. I would always check out the setup here on the derailleur. It wasn't totally perfect when I got the bike, and honestly most bikes do need a little type of setup when you first get them, so I did it myself. I actually saw some videos on YouTube, and I'll probably make my own the next time I have to reset things. But just make sure that you kind of get it checked out once you get it built, and they'll have it switch right the first time with the gears and everything. I upgraded the night lighting here. They have, again, a light that attaches to the bike in the back here. I took that off. I didn't want just a general, I'm gonna need a battery every time to switch it, battery powered thing. So I actually upgraded. I got these wonderful lights. I got 2 of them, so I always have a backup. And even though I'm not gonna turn them on right now, basically what they do is they act like brake lights. So if I brake the bike, it senses the motion and it turns on like a car brake light on both of them. And then they have different settings that you can do. So, and they're also auto off. So if you forget to turn them off, they turn off automatically, so they save battery, and they're rechargeable by micro USB. So when I'm on the road, I got tons of those power packs with me, and I'm able to charge it wherever I am and not have to worry about having batteries on me. For those of you who have kids, it does fit a trailer harness on here, and you can use a trailer harness with this bike. It's pretty cool. I take my 2-year-old Maddie in it all the time. I did have to find a nut to replace the one that was there, and I kept the original, but they're pretty easy to find. I got a castle nut from Home Depot because I was kind of in a rush because I was trying to get her out. Just make sure you replace the nut so it goes in deep enough when you put on the harness adapter. Again, I got a water bottle holder. This one was a pretty cheap one from Amazon. It's aluminum, and it screws right into the pre-existing holes on the Qualisports Dolphin, so it's nice to have the water bottle there. As far as the handlebars, this is where I need to get a lot of real estate here because I got a lot of things going on. I attached another battery operated light. This is more for daytime than anything, so that I can actually have it flashing during daytime when it's in the evening. But I also use it to help supplement the light that comes with the Qualisports Dolphin right here. So that way I have like a double light, so I can point it right down the road and see what's ahead of me. We also have a cell phone holder. I also have a USB-C cable that attaches itself with Velcro right here. I did this myself. Basically, this is a great thing to have, so that way you can charge while you're riding the bike. And I have this wonderful bag, which I bought at first and I thought, oh, I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but I got it at a great bargain. I leave the USB-C attached to it at all times, and I'm able to put a power pack right back here, which is where it hooks into, and it's routed all the way through the front to the side there, and my cell phone will go here. I need a new one of these. This broke off, but they're pretty easy and cheap to have for cell phone holding. I also have a GoPro camera holder, so I use that in my Martha's Vineyard video. The little snippets that you saw earlier, I just mounted my GoPro 8 to this, and that was fine. I also have a bell right there. This one's pretty loud, so that's why you're going to see tape on the front of it. It's about 100 decibels, and it is really, really loud. But it has different chimes. And I use that not very frequently, honestly. That's probably the most I've used it in a couple months. Again, we have the main computer itself, the throttle still here on the side, and the brakes in the front. No problem. I have had to adjust these as they wore over time, but it's pretty easy. Again, there's videos on YouTube to do that. You might see that I have some scrapes and bumps here. Basically, I've fallen off the bike twice in my 7 months of owning it. One of the times, it was going down a steep hill, and I ran over something. I didn't see it, and I slid right off the bike. But That's not what caused this, but you can see that it does hold up to everything. No problem at all. I haven't had anything I had to really fix other than the derailleur. The first time I fell off of it though, I was doing about a 25-mile ride to my local general aviation airport just for a challenge, and I took a curve a little too quick, and again the bike kind of hit the curb and I kind of fell off one side, the bike went to another, and it did get the brakes a little bit, but you can see that this is metal, so that it's gonna be fine. I'll probably touch up with some paint later on. It did bend the brake a little bit, but I was able to bend it back, and it looks like nothing ever happened to it. So I will say that the Qualisports Dolphin is durable, and that's why I'm sharing those facts with you. The only thing, and again, this is more me than the bike, is that when fitting it through the doors of the plane, it did chip the paint a little bit on the side here, but it's gonna get beat up a little bit the way I use it. So everything's been great other than that. The tires are still good. They have a little bit of wear on them now. I've done probably over, if I had to estimate, probably 1,250 miles on this bike. And I mostly ride it, believe it or not, without the motor. I only use the motor when I'm taking it for rides with the plane, or I just feel like letting loose with the motor. So the battery holds a really decent charge, and again, I charge that with solar power the whole way. So energy basically costs me nothing. I also got some really good durable locks. I have a Bordeaux X Plus from A-Bus there. I also have tons of locks, first aid kit, repair kits, etc., etc. I will say that buying replacement inner tubes, just in case one were to bust while I'm riding and I have to repair it, that was a little harder than other bikes to find replacements, but they are out there. You just have to kind of find them. It's just because of these smaller tire size. They usually have this tire size for like kids, and you want it to be portable and compact, so you have to find one that is the proper pressure and width of the tire. So again, they're out there, you just have to look around. Do I recommend the Qualisports Dolphin overall? I do. I really have no problems with it. I wish that the bike folded a little bit more compact for my needs, but for most people's needs, you could fit in the back of your trunk no problem. So for the normal person who's not going to take this up in a plane and take it places, it's a great e-bike. It really is. I would say beginner, intermediate level e-bike, in the fact that it has normal everyday parts on it. There's nothing great. You are going to have to upgrade some stuff over time if you want it to be to your liking, like I showed you. Definitely new pedal, but overall I do recommend the Qualisports Dolphin, and I do recommend to anyone looking for a compact portable e-bike solution. Pros and cons about the Qualisports Dolphin e-bike. Pros: it's built really well. The aluminum construction makes it as lightweight as it's gonna get, honestly. Pretty much everything on it stock is okay for a beginning e-bike. You definitely want to do some upgrades. The light is a extra bonus to have, especially if you don't have an extra one like I do. So you can actually ride this at night right off the bat. It does come up with a back rear light, which is nice to have too, because they didn't have to include those things. The fenders come with it as well. There's lots of places where you can store stuff if you get creative, like with this bag on the rack. But the rack and the front rack, if I had installed, are extra, so you do have to pay extra for that. It's highly customizable. Again, if you unclip this, you can have the handlebars go up and down in height. Again, it folds up really easy and compact like I've shown you. And overall, it's really fun to ride. It's a smooth ride for an e-bike that's going to be compact. They didn't really skimp on comfort as much as they could have. It doesn't have suspension, but again, it's just something that you can fix, at least with a suspension seat of some sort, and then you'll be fine. Cons about the Qualisports Dolphin e-bike. Well, there are a couple things. It's not perfect. One, better pedals. They could have given you better pedals. Even if they were plastic, they were a little cheap. The right one broke on me as I was pedaling, and like I said, it basically broke off the whole way. So then I was like, well, I'm just going to upgrade these things. Two, no real guide rail to protect the chain here at all, but it does work. It's just a little pet peeve. It'd be nice to have that. Three, this one's probably the biggest con I've had, and that is the seat going up and down. Now, I had a problem where I kept adjusting this to try to make the seat not fall over time with my weight on top of the seat, and it kept slipping. So I eventually really tightened it down to the point where it basically hollowed out the screw here, and I had to replace that. Now, I contacted Qualisports and I told them about all my problems, and they did send me a whole new top attachment here to fit the battery through, because that's the problem with this bike, is that the battery is kind of like not seen in other e-bikes. So you kind of need the right clasp pair in order to make it work with the seat. What you're gonna need to not make this fall down is not just to adjust the clasp pair. You're also, in my opinion, going to need some of the fiber grip. It's made more for carbon fiber seats on bikes, but this is plastic of some sort. So I kind of put that some in there, and it does give me some friction to make it not go down. I'm still fighting with it here and there. It's not like all the time though. It's like maybe once per like, I don't know, 4 or 5 rides where it slips down a little bit and I have to readjust it and tighten it down. But that would probably be the biggest con, is that once in a while I have to readjust the seat. Once I get it there though, it's fine for a while. So it is rideable. And again, this is supposed to be able to be broken down to a small size. So it's something that, you know, you're just gonna have to work with on this bike. Overall, I've had nothing else really slip. It's just the seat. Again, I'm a heavier person on this bike too. I'm not a lightweight. So that could have something to do with it as well, but I never had any real problems. But just make sure you really do adjust that when you first get the bike, because when I first got the bike, I didn't really adjust it. I just thought, oh, look, it's holding fine. And I went for a ride and the seat went whoop, right down, and the battery almost hit the ground the first time I rode it. So that is definitely something I would say is the biggest con of the bike, is just adjusting the seat. Other than that, maintenance on it is pretty easy. Cleaning the chains, bring it down, lubing it up is pretty easy. Really haven't had any problems with nothing moving. I've had to adjust the brakes again because I've worn them down over time, but we're talking like 1,000 miles of riding on this. The motor is great to have. It's a powerful enough motor for me. If you want to go straight up hills with no slowing down, then you want a more powerful motor, but this one will get you up steep hills. It'll just take some time. And overall, I am satisfied with my purchase. For the price, it is definitely a worthwhile e-bike, and it does the job. This thing has basically, I'd say, changed my life for the past year. I've gotten to ride it. I've never really skipped a week, let's put it that way. And my family, we're all riding bikes together now. So if anything, it gave us something to do during these COVID times. Really like the e-bike. Will I ever trade it up? Maybe in the future. Honestly, if I had some money to put on a new bike and I wasn't flying a plane, probably I would probably get an e-bike with a couple more features on it that maybe has a little bit more powerful motor on it. But after owning this one, this is definitely my go-to for a long time. Again, I ride it mostly without the motor, which I know would be kind of weird for people to say, well, why'd you get an e-bike? But the e-bike definitely helps me for when, again, I just want to cut loose with it. I don't ride it with a motor most of the time because I am trying to get some exercise in this stuff. And the motor does come in handy though if you're going up a really steep hill while trying to work out. I use the motor on it mostly as an extra gear. So after I get to gear 7, if I'm going up a very steep hill, I will put the pedal assist on 1, possibly 2 at most, and I will get up that hill. And I'm still working out the muscles. I know there's a lot of people out there that say, oh, an e-bike's kind of like cheating. And honestly, if you think of it as an extra gear, it's actually a worthwhile purchase for the people like me who are going to use it for commuting and stuff like that. If you're just looking for exercise, it's still a worthwhile option. But again, it's mostly a commuter bike, and that's what should be looked at as. The support is great, the price is right, and the features are pretty good for what you get for what you pay for it. If you'd like to purchase the Qualisports Dolphin e-bike, please look for a link in the description below. We'll send you to Amazon where you can purchase your very own, and every purchase will help support the Eric DIY channel. We appreciate all your support. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, please give us a thumbs up and push that subscribe button below. While you're down here, also push on the bell notification icon so that we'll be notified of future Eric DIY video releases. And we appreciate all your support. Thank you and have a great day. As always, if you like this video, found it useful, please subscribe. And if you have a product that you would like reviewed, please contact Eric by emailing him at eric5150diy@gmail.com. Have a great day.